the jump to her and Ledger having a kid, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The kid. How do we feel about the new baby being named Scotty?
I feel conflicted about it.
Grosses me out.
Oh, strongly not in
Because this is an ex-lover. I don't want to get like gross, but it's just like, again, ex-lover.
Hey lovers, it's book club. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Who wants to give a synopsis? Do it up.
Hey, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give the synopsis right now. It's about Kenna coming to her hometown. And she's trying to
Kenna just got out of prison. She's trying to restart her life, but in the process of restarting her life, she's looking for her daughter. Her daughter is somehow with her.
Wait. What if it's popcorn style and everybody does a sentence?
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is basically about Kenna. We follow her and Ledger. Kenna comes back from prison.
She's looking for her daughter, who was taken away from her when she was in prison.
She finds out that her daughter is with her, is it ex-boyfriends?
Murdered boyfriends? Dead boyfriends?
Parents, and also that his best friend Ledger, who's going to be a key part of the story, helps take care of her.
So she goes back to the town, tries to get a job, reestablish her life, but there are some barriers to meeting her daughter.
That was so good! I mean,
Gold star for us.
yeah, what a team building exercise.
Yeah,
we
right.
needed that.
Especially everything leading up to that.
So I think that sets the scene. Should we do tropes?
Yes.
Okay.
Second chance, obviously.
Yes.
Yes. Boyfriend's best friend. Is that a trope?
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend's best friend?
Yeah.
Small town.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely
For
small
sure.
town, yeah. I wouldn't say enemies to lovers, but like, I don't know, rivals to lovers
rivals to
almost.
lovers.
Yeah. Or maybe enemies. I mean,
Yeah.
he really doesn't like her.
That's true.
Found family?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I would also kind of say addiction
yeah,
representation in this
absolutely.
because of
Yes.
Roman's
Yep.
story. Like it, I love how much it was intertwined.
Yes.
I loved his story. Yeah,
We love Roman. Yeah.
justice for Roman.
So I think
All right.
general thoughts, I really liked this book until about 70% of the way through. I think I was so excited about what all the big reveals were going to be and
Yeah.
like how they were going to push past their hatred of Kenna and start loving Kenna and accepting Kenna. And I just thought I was kind of let down by
Yeah.
the reveal of like what really happened at the car accident, and then like Ledger kind of turning his mind or changing his mind about how he saw Kenna, and the parents changing their mind about how they saw Kenna.
It was a little too clean. Like it was a little too.
Yeah. Too easy in
Yeah.
some ways.
I just felt like Colleen wanted to fit it in the 350 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she had a
Yeah.
really solid 275, and then she was like, "Oh, I got to get done with this real fast."
Yeah.
But she could have been longer.
It reminds me of when we read
Oh, BK Boris.
BK Boris. That was a
BK
good
Borison. First time
BK
caller.
Boris.
Yeah.
It goes back to First Time Caller. Now that's a good sized book for me personally.
Wasn't it about the same size as this one?
Yes.
No, First Time Caller is like over 400.
Oh, is it?
Yes. I remember because I was
wow.
struggling to finish it.
I'm curious.
She's fact checking me. Okay.
I would also agree, except for my issues started early on in the book and also in the movie. If you know, go watch Plot Tease 3. We had an interesting time in the movie, and I was like, oh, let me have an open mind. Let me read the book. Maybe the book will be better. I was like, this girl just keeps making bad choices. Has she really learned from any of her mistakes? Everything, I agree, everything was wrapped up really neat in a bow at the end, and I was like, okay, sure, let's go with it.
Yeah.
So that was my personal overview of the book.
I will say from me reading the book, I felt like a better connection. I got to actually know the characters.
Yes, and I got to know that I really don't like them anyway.
Who's your least favorite character?
Kenna.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I will say, getting to hear like her inner dialogue really was better because in the movie it was all glossed over really quickly. Her mother like wasn't even in the movie, so we had no idea about her backstory. And yes, she had it rough, y'all. But again, therapy could have gone so far for Kenna.
But she doesn't have those resources.
You know what? What else could you do in prison aside from, I don't know, maybe better yourself?
Do you get therapy in prison? I don't know. It's a real question.
I
You get books.
I know that there's like classes and everything, but I don't know if there's a lot of mental health support in the system.
We should look this up, and if so, we should make a change. But her first day back in town, she meets Ledger and immediately starts having this connection with him, even though she knows who he is. And I'm like, that's what you want to do on your first day back in town?
Girl was horny. 7 years. No, it was in the book. It was 7 years, right?
But she did have that one slight dalliance with the security guard.
That's
one point.
true.
Yeah,
In
but-
the rest of the book, yeah.
was it? It was just a kiss, wasn't it?
I
It
don't remember.
was, and she said that she only kissed him because he tasted like not cheap prison coffee, and I was like, okay, this is not making me like you any better, girl. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, I think that's why I was excited to read a Colleen Hoover book, because that's what I've heard about her characters, is like she makes you question who you like and who you're going to support and put yourself in someone else's shoes. And at first I was going along with it, but I felt like there wasn't really any redemption for her.
No.
And the part that really made me stop liking the book as much was when her and Ledger actually committed to being with each other, and it just gave me the ick.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about the dynamic.
Well, my first problem was like how we see like how it would be in their shoes. I'm like thinking if I was in Kenna's shoes at the very beginning, I would have said something at the trial. Like she was, I understand that she was so close, like she just lost somebody she cared about like in the whole wide world, but she didn't say anything to make her look like
what
her.
was she upset at the trial? Because in the letter, and this is where I lost it, and kind of like lost my interest in the book, really, was when the letter is revealed that like says what happened that night.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, basically everything that the police said was true, but I felt really bad about it, and I was trying to search for help, but I didn't find help. And it's like, how did you not find help? But you found your apartment and you passed out in your apartment? Like,
Well, even then, she mentions in the trial, whenever she heard that he was alive and that he had crawled from the car, she said that she just tuned the rest out because she couldn't, like, fathom hearing all of the details. And I'm like, what do you mean you're going to tune the rest out? Like,
yeah.
what?
I just I thought there was going to be something that would have made it, and I think I said this in our plot tease, which I was like, I thought maybe she was covering for him so that he could
I thought that would have been a really great plot twist, actually.
so that his memory wasn't marred by a mistake of his.
Yeah.
But in fact, everything that the community thought about Kenna kind of was true. It's just that she felt bad about it, and that wasn't enough for me.
It wasn't fulfilling.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the movie changed some things, like especially with how her first interaction is with Ledger. I think they were trying to make her more likable and kind of give the audience a little bit harder of a time to judge her and to like have more and be able to have more sympathy for her.
Yeah.
Because I started reading the book and I was like, oh, we're jumping right in with the okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And then I'm also not sure about like, and I've never been in this situation, obviously, but
You've
like
never
if you're
murdered a
meeting
boyfriend
and had a daughter with him and been in prison for 7 years. You know what I mean? It's just like
So you
walk
haven't
along-
lived yet, apparently.
Haven't lived Kenna's life, but I think that there is something really alarming about when she meets her daughter for the first time and just immediately goes like, hey, I'm your mom.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
wait, again, I've never been in this situation. I never really spent much time thinking about what I would do if I was in this situation, but I feel like that's not how you handle it.
No,
with kids.
not at all. Like, why
100%.
would like you're basically a stranger to her.
Right.
Why would the
And-
first thing out of your mouth be, by the way, I'm your mom?
Right.
Like,
Surprise!
like Dean was a smart kid. She knew that like it was grandma and grandpa, and
Yeah.
like she's like, oh, mom's not here because she has a bigger, like she needs a bigger car.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was strange because I know like there's a whole like that's day one, not
Yeah.
even like 1 week of being with her. It's like, okay, who is this friend?
Yeah.
No, she didn't get time to process, and I'm like, babe, that's a lot to process for a 5-year-old.
Well, yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
so I was actually thinking about it because we were also talking about Age of Attraction and how like some of the single parents on the show were like, oh yeah, I don't bring people that I like just started dating around my children.
Yes.
I was thinking of it in the same scope of like, wouldn't you want to ease your kids into it? Wouldn't you want to spend some time with them, get to know them, and then be like, hey, by the way, now that we have this relationship and we have this rapport, there's some things that I want to tell you. One of which being that I'm your freaking mother. Like, I just...
Or like if they had covered the conversation that Kenna maybe had with with Grace and Patrick.
Even just showing that would have been...
that it was like a mutual, like we all are on the same page, you can go do this.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I would have loved to have gotten the grandparents' permission and like total sign off. I know that we kind of get it at the end when Kenna's like, oh, let me help out your mom. And the mom is like, no, go be with your daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, we kind of get that, but Kenna's already said, I'm your mom at that point.
No, and then also in the epilogue, she talks about, like, oh, like, you know, DM stays 2 nights with us, but she, like, fully lives with your parents because she wants the normalcy for her. And I'm like, okay, so you do know about, like, taking time and progress.
Yeah, all of that was weird.
Yeah. But I do want to throw in a little banner, a little interlude to say that Paige couldn't be here at book club, but she would like us all to state Paige's opinion, which is that she freaking loves this book, and I know that if she were here, she would probably be defending that we're pointing out with it. So just know this would maybe be a more balanced conversation if our full team was here. But unfortunately, our group was a little bit
skewed to one side.
Struggled with it a little bit more. I did really like the writing of the book. Like, I was like so eagerly flipping through it and so excited to see where it was going. And then again, just felt let down when the actual reveals were happening.
I thought the epilogue was kind of weird too, with like the jump to her and Ledger having a kid, you know?
Okay. The kid. How do we feel about the new baby being named Scotty?
I feel conflicted about it.
Grosses me out.
Oh, strongly not in favor.
Because this is an ex-lover.
But they both love him.
Yes.
I could see both sides.
Yeah,
I know,
I can see
totally,
both sides.
Yeah, I understand the sentiment. I just like, I don't want to get like gross, but it's just like, again, ex-lover.
But also, don't you think that should have been more of a conflict for Ledger in having this relationship with Kenna?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that was just kind of brushed over, that
Right.
It was.
your best friend was madly in love with this girl.
Yeah.
And now you want her more than anything else in the world.
Yeah, he felt like a instant connection of like love at first sight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Really?
oh.
Because she ordered milk at the bar or whatever she ordered. You know what I mean? Like, I was just,
A Pepsi and a coffee.
Yeah, she's crying at the bar, and you're like, I love this woman.
My thought was like, okay, like everything happens for a reason. Like, you know, the world is kind of like planned something for you. My thought is, if he was at the birthday, would he have fallen in love with her? Or been like, oh no, that's my best friend's girlfriend. I can't do that. Now is that a different book?
I think if there's going to be a different book, though, it's got to be for Roman.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love
Yes.
a Roman book.
I feel like he was, what's that word? I feel like he was, I don't know, gypped. I can't think of a better
was
word right
snubbed.
now.
Yeah.
He was gypped in the movie because I didn't like that his addiction was changed to alcoholism because, again, he worked in a bar, so...
Yeah.
That's like, that
was
would
a
be
weird
tougher than it
correlation.
was.
Yeah.
Because the way they were giving mugs every week.
Yeah.
But I just felt like his story was so much... In the book, I felt like his story contributed so much more to Ledger being able to work through this and to help him see, you know, a different perspective to Kenna's story. And I just feel like that could have really been... I think that would have been beneficial to have in the movie, to see that.
Yeah. I do think that like a lot of these issues were very surface level in the movie, but explored it way more in the book. And, and created like a sense of, I don't know, reason for more things. Like,
Like it was much more of a conversation.
Yeah, like Ledger's push to actually trying to accept Kenna and the mistakes that she has made is because of Roman. And I felt like there was a disconnect for some of those things.
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked that was in the book that wasn't in the movie was the relationship with her mom. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I felt like that that was one of the things that made me feel for Kenna and kind of not dismiss how her behavior has been, but like more understand the rough life that she's been through. And I wish that we got that dynamic in the movie too.
That's not in the movie.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no way.
In the movie, we have no idea why Kenna is on her own. We just know that she lives in town by herself.
Whoa.
So, like, she talks about how she doesn't have anybody, but
Yeah.
nobody knows why.
Oh my God, that is one of the like most upsetting scenes in the book is when she asks her mom if her mom would apply for just like the ability to visitation rights, just visitation rights. Like it's not that she wants her mom to be the guardian of the child. She knows her mom doesn't want to do that. But if her mom would just apply to visit every once in a while, then Kenna's ability to visit her child when she gets out of prison would be a lot more likely.
Yeah.
And her mom's like, kind of laughs in her face and is like, no, why would I do that? That's crazy. You think I'm going to drive 6 hours to visit your prison daughter? Like, no. And that
like,
really did build empathy for Kenna.
Yeah, and like the point that Kenna had to reach her like ability to say to her mom, I'm okay with, like, I would love for you to do this for me, even though you've treated me horribly.
Yeah.
And like, this is our dynamic and I don't want this dynamic for my daughter, but will you make this sacrifice? And like putting so much trust in her mom when she doesn't deserve that trust.
Yeah.
And then of course her just letting her down again.
Yeah, I do think it was a disservice not having that be a part of the movie. I feel like there were some things in the movie that could have easily been taken out that weren't necessarily needed in place of something like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember we talked about it in our teaser as well, where we were like, what's this chick's story? Like, what does it matter? Kind of thing. So, but I also just think, like, I think the little details too, whenever she meets Scotty for the first time, like in the movie, it's like so quick. It's like, oh, I'm in love with you. Like, go out on a date with me.
And they were dating for like 4 months.
In the book, it's like in the book, you understand that they have a deeper connection because of how they met and things like that. And I just, it felt too quick. It felt like it was like, okay, here are all these things. Have a nice time.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that I love that was in the book was, and I don't love that it happened, but I loved what it made me think and like the conflict that I had with these characters is that Kenna and Ledger did kiss at the bar very early on, and she broke her own
like moral code.
Yeah, she broke her own moral code for Scotty.
Yeah.
And it made me really conflicted on whether I should like her or not.
Yeah.
And that
made me immediately not like her.
Well, I mean, yeah, totally. But I liked that I had this conflict with her. It made me want that payoff even more.
Yeah. And the thing that made it like especially icky, but I thought in an interesting way at the beginning, is that she knows who he is. He doesn't know who she is.
Yeah.
And so it's this like very unfair dynamic that they're
like she's literally having this thought process of like, oh yeah, this friend that was supposed to come to the birthday party, and he's just like having the time of his life.
Yes. Yeah. And she lies to him because she gives him a different name. She gives him like her middle name. Yeah.
I still think Lady Diana was one of my favorite characters.
Oh, yeah. I do love her.
Yes. She was such an amazing addition to the story because I was literally laughing out loud whenever it came to it being her time to shine. And in the movie too. And the movie was so funny. Whenever she would call Ledger, she would just call him a jerk, and then whenever she found out his name was Ledger, she would say "le-jerk."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so funny. Love it.
She was feisty.
Yes. Yeah.
Best side character for sure.
Yeah.
I would put Lady Diana and then Roman for side characters.
Ooh, I would do Roman, Lady Diana, the cat,
Ivy,
Diem.
I mean, I would also take a kitten if I got like a month of electricity for
Such a good deal.
Yeah, I'd take all the cats.
Yeah.
Maybe she get a whole year off.
That would be so cool.
I guess I'm kind of curious if we are going to talk about Scotty's parents. Like, what were your thoughts around during the flashback scenes where Kenna's meeting his parents for the first time?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, my top is too low cut. Oh, she caught me with the cigarette that's actually Scotty's cigarette. Oh, I didn't actually volunteer to help out. Like, she thinks from that first meeting that, like, his parents really hate her. But, like, what, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that just, like, did she just view herself very negatively? Or do you think Scotty's parents actually really hated her after that first meeting?
I just feel like she didn't try.
I feel like it was a little bit of both. I feel like she could have tried more.
Yeah.
And I also feel like his parents probably did have like that initial, because I mean, Scotty's an only child, so I think it would be understandable that his parents would be a little bit more hesitant for whoever he brings home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if you have this concern that like your top is too revealing, why didn't you wear a different top?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
if you're kicking yourself for not offering to help out, why didn't you just offer to help out?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because the worst case scenario, she would have been like, oh no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just like coming into somebody's house and having respect.
Yeah.
Like kindness and respect. So I'm just like, again, I think it goes also with how she grew up. I remember growing up and like my parents were always like, ask for like, you know, like help out cleaning up and like doing this. So it's like, I don't think she was taught that as well.
But I feel like if you're having that anxiety of like all of these things, I do feel like it should be a thought process at that point to think, oh, I should have helped out. Let me ask if I can help.
Yeah.
Or like, oh no, if I wear this, am I going to be worried that my top is too revealing? Oh, maybe I should just, like, my personal anxiety is worst case scenario. So anytime that I'm thinking of something or doing something, or if I know I'm going to meet somebody, I'm thinking like every worst case scenario and I'm planning accordingly so that way I can adjust as I need to. So I think if you're having those thoughts, like why not just try to like get a step ahead?
Yeah. My anxiety makes me proactive. But maybe that's not the case for everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was my thought
Yeah,
the whole
I'm
time.
with
I was
you.
like, I understand you feeling that way, but it sounds like his parents did have at least a little bit of a reason to be like,
Yeah.
And I know that we brought this up in the plot tease, so I don't need to rehash it again, but it really just bothered me that much, so I'm going to rehash it again, which is, I cannot believe she's feeling this way about how much his parents don't like her, and then she still hooks up with him in the childhood bedroom. I'm never going to get over
weird,
this.
yeah.
I'm never going to get over
It
this.
is weird, yeah.
Just don't do that. Like, it's, what? Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, real.
I can't get over it.
But that also is what irks me, though, is that I feel like the movie was focused more on the relationship between Kenna and Ledger, where the book actually showed a little bit more about her trying to actually get her daughter back.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
book is definitely focused on she wants her daughter. So, in conclusion, I mean, was it our favorite?
No.
And that's okay, right? And if you love this book and if you love this movie, please feel free to tell us why we're wrong. Maybe we're being too hard on Kenna, right?
Maybe,
Maybe we're being too hard on Ledger. Maybe we're not being hard enough on somebody. I don't know.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Be sure